Hey guys, welcome to our Body Electric weekly webinar. We are already well over halfway into the month of January, which is kind of crazy. Thank you for allowing me to pre-record this webinar in particular. Every so often, Beachbody Corporate does what they call a wall call, which is an elite coach's webinar. So they're actually having that tonight, which is why I can't do our webinar live because that's going to happen at 9 o'clock. So thank you for your patience. Hopefully you're able to check this out through the recording. And if you have any questions after the fact, you can always post them in our team page or you can reach out to me personally. So I've got baby sleeping in the other room and dog sleeping in the other room. And I have my husband coming home in about 30 minutes. So this is a perfect time for me to knock this out. But I'm giving you the forewarning that you could start hearing baby crying or the dogs could start barking at any moment. So I'm gonna just run right with it and hop right into it so that I don't waste a lot of your time. I'm hoping that you guys find these calls valuable. I have some guest speakers lined up to start in February, which I think will really add to the value of these calls. But for right now, I wanna make sure as we start 2017 that we're starting off on the right foot. So we've talked so far, this is our third webinar of the year. The first call, we talked a lot about our vision and creating our own individual vision boards for 2017. Hopefully you've done that. Last week, we talked about the leadership ladder. We have some really awesome new resources surrounding the leadership ladder and surrounding the activities that we should be following in order to step up a rung on the leadership ladder. So hopefully you guys have taken the time to download those checklists and to start incorporating those into your daily activities as well. So I'm going to go ahead and hit share screen. Hang on one second. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Okay, so today in particular, I wanted to talk to you guys, and this is sort of a broader topic, but again, I want to make sure that we're starting 2017 off on the right foot, that we're really putting the right energy forward, right? Because I really want to make sure that all of you guys are on the same page as far as what we do as coaches and how we do it, right? And I really think that having that same common culture on our team on how we do things is really going to help each of us individually, and it's also going to help our team to thrive as well. So I want to make sure that we have the right mindset heading into 2017 with helping others. So a little bit of this is going to be just very general speaking, but I also, like I said, I also want to make sure that I'm getting you guys fired up to do what we do for the rest of the year. So again, a quick check-in for you. I want to start adding accountability to these weekly calls. So if you're sitting on here and you were also on last week's call or the week before, and you haven't done the homework that was assigned to you, why not? Why not? Why are you continuing to listen to stuff and not implementing it, right? It's kind of like personal development. That's why I'm excited about this mastermind, because with this mastermind group that we have coming up, for those of you participating with Amy Snow, you really don't have a chance to not follow through on your personal growth, right? You can't just keep reading on to the next chapter and not actually stop to assess what's happening in your life. You have to address it before you move on. That's the same thing I want for these calls. I want to offer you guys value, but I also want you to take that value and do something with it. So again, if you haven't created your vision board, if you haven't printed off your leadership ladder activities, if you haven't started talking to your working coaches about the leadership ladder, it's time to do that, right? Maybe even stop this webinar right now and hit pause and don't come back to it until you have those things done, because I want to make sure we're not just treading through the water, right? We want to make sure we're actually making progress. Okay, so my only real announcement, as you guys know, most of our weekly announcements are found in our weekly announcements section of our website. So I don't want to take up time with that. You guys can just check that out on your own. But I do want to address this on the call, and this is not part of the weekly announcements. This is a brand new thing. Registration is now open and available. So Team Cup. So what if you're a new coach and you don't know what Team Cup is? Team Cup is it doesn't really make sense till you're in it, but there's no reason to be afraid of it. Team Cup is really just a friendly competition amongst coaches. Beachbody Corporate puts this on. They have you create small teams of 5, and those small teams of 5 all across the company, thousands of teams compete to see how many lives each team can change. So this is a really cool thing. I used to not be a believer in it. I've led tons of team cups, probably 2 team cups a year since I was a coach. So at least 10 or 12 team cup teams. It wasn't until a couple years ago that we saw some pretty awesome success with our team cup team. We placed 8th in the company, that I thought, you know what, there's something to this. It's a great way to establish camaraderie, to get to know other coaches, to kind of up your accountability and up your level of work that you're putting into the business. And you never know. A lot of people come out on top way ahead and they kind of supersede their expectations and they realize how much they can really do if they put their mind to it. So if you're not on a Team Cup team, or if you haven't sought out other coaches to be on your Team Cup team, now's the time. Now's the time to do it. So post on the team page, or message your upline to see perhaps if they have any suggestions for you before you join or start a team of your own. But if you don't have a team to join, start your own team, right? This isn't dodgeball. We don't have to feel bad about being the last person picked. We can just step up and be a leader and start picking other people. So I hope that you guys will all register for Team Cup. I wish I had the link, but I'm sure if you just Google Team Beachbody Cup, it'll come up at the very top for registration. Okay, so tonight, let's dive in. Let's talk about how we change lives as body electric coaches, because I think this really matters. If you saw my post in the team page last night, you probably noticed that we have a very strong focus on our team of being small but mighty. For being an elite team, especially a 2-time elite team, we have some power in the coaches that we have, right? We have under 500 coaches on our team. We're probably one of the smallest teams in the network to have such high accolades. So in my opinion, that's awesome, right? Like, I'm all about quality over quantity, but I really think that it comes down to the fact that it's the way we do things. It's the way we change lives. It's the way we follow through with people and really get them seeing results that helps us be successful. So my main takeaways for you today are, number one, that what we do matters. I want you to know that what you do matters. Posting the picture of your shake, posting the picture of your omelet, posting that sweaty selfie, reaching out to people through private messenger, freaking matters. It really matters. It has the potential to change lives drastically. And I never want you to consider it just a sale. I never want you to consider getting somebody on board with the challenge pack to be just the sale or just the points. It is so much more than that. Number two, what we do requires work. I don't want anybody to tell you otherwise. This is not something that happens as a result of luck. This is not something that happens as a result of having the best photo filter. This is something that requires work. We are entrepreneurs. We are business leaders. And we should be treating this like a business. So leading people is as important as attracting them. So just because you have somebody hop on board in your challenge group doesn't mean that that's where the work ends. The work truly begins with that challenge pack sale. That's where we start to lead them to success. And then last but not least, people need what we have. Have you guys ever thought of that before? Like, this isn't a luxury thing. We aren't selling candle wax or makeup or perfume, whatever. We're not selling luxury items here. We are selling health and fitness. We are literally selling, we're the opposite of what doctors do, in my opinion, right? We are like proactively selling health that doesn't involve medicine. This is like the proactive way of making sure that you're living a healthy lifestyle. So what we have is not necessarily something that people want always, but everybody in this world needs it. So I want you to think about that for a second, that what we have to offer as coaches, the tools in our toolbox, people need them. People need them. Okay, so I'm going to turn on my light because I think I'm probably pretty dark. Hang on one second. I don't know if that really helped, but maybe. Anyways, okay, so what I've done is I've broken this down into the 5 ways that I believe that we impact others. Okay, and so take it or leave it, right? Number 1, what we say we do. Number 2, what we actually do. Number 3, how we interact with others. Number 4, how we follow through with others. And number 5, how we continue shining our light. So I'm going to dive into those and we're going to break those down. But I think this is important because I think that the ways that we impact other people, we need to know that. We need to understand the detailed things that we're either doing or not doing that are leading to why we are or aren't attracting others to us. Hopefully that makes sense. So what's required for us to be life changers? What's required for us to be successful in this business? I'll tell you, these 3 things are it. This is it. You don't have to have like I said, you don't have to have the best photo filters. You don't have to have a 6-pack. You don't have to be amazing with Facebook Live. You just have to have patience. You have to be consistent in what you're doing, and you have to have belief in what we have to offer. So belief in the product, belief in ourselves, belief in our challenge groups, and belief in the people that we're bringing on board. Okay, so let's break it down. Let's break down those 5 ways, of how we change lives. Number 1, what we say we do. Okay, this is very different from way number 2 that we're going to get to in a second. So what we say we do. So here's a question for you. Let's say that you meet somebody on the elevator or maybe this happened to me actually in Las Vegas one time, and it was the first moment that I actually did this, and it changed the course of my business, and I now do it all the time. So you're on an elevator with strangers, and the strangers start a conversation, and at some point in the conversation, they ask you what you do. What do you say back? Most of you are going to answer with your, I guess, primary position. So those of you who work full-time, let's say that you're a school teacher, most people just default to answering with the comfortable. So someone on the elevator says, oh, what do you do for a living? And they say, oh, I'm a school teacher. I teach first grade. And the other person's like, oh, cool. Yeah, I have a granddaughter who's in first grade. And then the conversation goes down that road, right? Nothing wrong with that. I think you're a fantastic first grade teacher. But if you're really in this business to attract people, right? Like you're not going to attract that person on the elevator to join your first grade class, most likely, right? Or their child even. But you can attract that person to Shakeology, or you can attract that person to health and fitness. So why not start saying that I'm a health coach, right? You don't have to, I wouldn't say beach buddy coach because that's weird, but I would say I'm a health coach. I'm a health coach. I help a lot of people virtually online by helping them stay accountable with at-home programs. That's what I say. Okay, so I want you to think about that. When someone asks you what you do, how are you answering? How are you answering that? What do you tell them that you are? And if you're saying something like, oh, I'm a full-time attorney, or I'm a first grade teacher, or I'm a track coach, or whatever the case is, maybe start shifting that so that the conversation goes down the avenue of potentially attracting that person to your business. Let them know that you are a health coach. And then, of course, do we remain confident even amongst the haters? Okay, I've seen a couple of you post recently about how you have people who are kind of like raining on your parade, which, you know what, it's so funny. It always pops up a lot in January just because there are people that are on the health and fitness bandwagon right now. And then, so therefore, there are people that are totally opposed to those people. They're totally opposed to the positive energy. So they like to rain on your parade, but it's because they don't have a parade of their own. So we have to remain confident, right? Like health and fitness is not an easy business to be in, right? Like people need what we have. You can't avoid your health, but at the same time, a lot of people want to. And so you have to remain confident no matter what, through thick and thin, even if that hater is your mom, even if that hater is your husband. You have to remain confident in what you're doing. Okay, so this goes tandem with way number one, which is what we actually do, right? What we actually do. I've seen this happen, you guys, and I realize that this is like the most common sense topic, this particular thing I'm about to say, but it is so true. I see so often people who claim that they're a health coach, who invite people to a challenge group, who sell a challenge pack, or they sell a product to get the person into their challenge group, and then they literally fall flat on their face. They don't provide amazing value or content in the group. Sometimes they don't even set the group up to begin with, right? So what you say you do has to line up with what you actually do, or else you're really not successful. You're just attracting people and you're a pretty decent salesperson, right? Which is not what we're after here. We are not after sales. We are after actually changing lives. So what you say you do and what you do has to match up, because if you're telling people that I help people stay accountable by putting them into online accountability groups using at-home programs, if you say that, you have to follow through with it, and you have to lead some rock star challenge groups. So are you sharing your journey on your social media? Are you posting about your shakes, your food, your workouts? Are you showing people that you're a health coach? Are you doing it consistently? Are you showing them the journey? Are you showing them the sweat and the tears that go into it? Are you sharing with them the struggles that you're having in a positive light? Are you sharing with them the successes that you're having? And are you showing them what you're doing every single day? Today, I made a post on my social media about the fact that Chris and I just finished Core to Force. It was our second round. This time we did the deluxe. This makes my 15th program. So, I think Beachbody only has like 18 or 19, and I've done 15 of them. You're probably not going to catch me doing Brazil butt lift or country heat. Sorry, it's just not my thing. But I've done every other program that I could possibly fit into my repertoire, right? I want people to know that I am proof the products work. I have done these programs. This is my job, right? So are you doing the daily activities, and are you sharing them? Sometimes I can get in the habit of doing them, and I don't always share that I'm doing them. So both of those things are equally as important. Number 3 is how we interact with people. So what we've talked about so far is sort of the attraction marketing side of what we do as coaches, right? Like how we bring people to be interested in what we have by sharing our journey, by actually putting them into amazing challenge groups once the sale goes through, right? That's what we've talked about so far, but it also matters as to how we interact with people, whether it's publicly or through private messenger. Do we really care about people? Do we really care about their results? Do we really care about setting them up with the right solution, right? This so matters. This so matters. And guess what? The cool thing is, we used to stress out as coaches. Am I setting someone up with the right program? I don't know. Like, should they do 21-day fix or should they do country heat? I'm not really sure. Now it doesn't matter. Now we have access to Beachbody On Demand where they can try everything and anything. They could even do 2 workouts in one day that are totally different from each other to see what they like, right? So now our knowledge still doesn't matter as much. Our knowledge doesn't matter as much as how much we care. So the care that we put into others, the belief that we put into others, that's what's going to make us successful, because that's what's going to make them successful, okay? Help enough other people get what they want, you will get what you want. So the questions that I want you to ask yourself are, am I reaching out to people every single day? Am I following up with people? Am I continuing to ask the people who have told me no? Am I continuing to invite others, right? This stuff is pertinent. It's pertinent to your business because you have to be interacting with people on a relational level. You can't just be acting like someone in the limelight. You can't just be acting like, oh, I press play and drink my shake. Don't you want to ask me about it? Like, it can't just be that. You have to also have a human side, sort of a personal connection side where you are literally doing the work and being the person who reaches across the barrier and asks that person for a relationship. This might be totally off the wall or it might resonate with you, so I'll share it. But I was a double major in college, and one of my majors was in communications, right? And so I had to decide what avenue I was going to go with communications. And so I don't know if this is smart or not, but I decided to go the route of understanding more about theater, right? Because that's really helpful. So I was a writing major also, so I really liked the playwriting aspects of theater, right? But what was cool was I had to have so many courses in playwriting, and I had to have so many courses in theater and different, I went to Ireland and studied theater in Ireland. It was pretty cool. So anyways, but I learned a lot about the barrier between the stage and the audience, right? And so it wasn't until probably, I don't know, I think it was like in the 40s that somebody decided to bridge that divide, to actually put characters in the crowd, to have actors and actresses come in from different entrances than just the stage, and to have them interact, in some cases even verbally, with the audience. Okay, before that, it was looked at as, here's the show being performed, and here's the people watching the show, okay? When that bridge, that divide started to be crossed, that's when theater exploded. That's when we started to see things come about, like, that's when Broadway took off. That's when a lot of different things, that's when theater really became a thing for most people and not just for a niched group of people. So how we interact matters. What I'm trying to do is make a connection for you that you're not just you are on stage and people are watching you. They're seeing you as a health coach. They're seeing you as a resource in health and fitness. They're watching you press play, or they're seeing you drink your shake every day because they're seeing your photos and your videos. They're sitting in the crowd and they're watching you on the stage and they're like, I wish I had that motivation. But it's not going to be until you, the character, the actor or actress, speaks to them from the stage or walks down to their level, to their seat, and speaks to them where they are, that they're going to feel like they can do it, that they're actually going to take the next step. And so that's what we do as coaches. We perform a little bit, right? We put on the attraction marketing piece. We show people how to live the healthy lifestyle, but we also have to have that sometimes uncomfortable conversation about how they can do it too. Way number 4 is how we follow through, right? It's not just about the sale, it's how we follow through. So once we reached out to that person and they're interested and they say, okay, I think this finally makes sense to me. Like I resonate with you. I've been following you on your social media. You've reached out to me. You obviously care about me. I think I'm ready to put my trust in you as my coach. This is the most important step, right? Way number 4 is the most important part. This is where we follow through and we show them that what we say we do and what we actually do lines up, and that we actually do care about them. So we continue to help them after the sale. We keep sharing opportunities with them, right? We keep talking to them about new things coming out, or we keep them in the loop on the business opportunity. We keep checking in on them. We keep making sure that they're included in challenge groups. We keep making sure that we're putting them in the highest place of potential, that we're putting them in an opportunistic position, so that at the end of the day, if they don't see results, we couldn't have done anything differently to make sure that we could have helped them achieve what they wanted to achieve, right? If we put them in the environment where they belong in order to succeed and they've chosen not to do anything with it, that's an entirely different story than making the sale and not helping them and not following through. Does that make sense? Hopefully that does. Okay, so way number 5, of course, is how we continue sharing our light, because we want to continue bringing people into what we do, right? We don't just have 1 or 2 customers in this lifetime. Hopefully we have more people that we can spread our light to. So even when we feel like no one's watching, even when it's the end of the year and it's not January and people aren't interested in getting healthy and fit at Thanksgiving time or in October, we still continue shining our light. We still continue, being proof the products work and inviting people. When other people give up, we stay consistent. That's what we do. Okay, so here's why, right? Like at the end of the day, this is why we do what we do. Some of these, a lot of these first testimonials that I copy and pasted are from our 3-day refresh group, because you guys, I know that you guys personally feel like you have seen great results, right, from our programs and what we have to offer. You obviously love Shakeology. You wouldn't be a coach if you didn't. And so I think this is cool, because I think not only are we making an impact in our customers' lives, but I mean, even our own lives are changing too. So a lot of these testimonials are from our recent team 3-day refresh. I literally just took them right before this presentation just so I could have some to show you. But this stuff freaking matters. This stuff matters. And I mean, I love seeing the weight loss. I mean, I really don't care about the weight loss as much. No offense to you guys. The weight loss is cool, but I care more about when I see these phrases, it feels good to get back on track. Most importantly, I feel great. I'm totally surprised by the results, right? I now have firsthand experience of how this works, right? Those things matter. This is why it matters that we be proof the products work. And this is why it matters that of what we do. What we do truly makes a difference in the lives of our customers. Okay, so this is another one, this one that has like the black borders around it. These are 2 different testimonials. One was from a recent challenge group of mine. I have this guy that Chris used to teach school with, and he sent me a message that just said, oh my gosh, 2 weeks ago, I would have just sat around and done nothing on a Saturday. Today I was bored and I couldn't find an excuse to not do a 30-minute workout. This guy is literally, he's looking to lose like 100 pounds. He's already down like 15 pounds since the health bet started. He's logging his workouts. He's logging his shakes. He's messaging me every day with questions about the containers or recipes. He's into it, right? And that little conversation piece, that little interaction that I have with him makes me keep doing what I'm doing. That fuels my fire to take a picture of myself today, flexing, and to share with the universe that I am proof the products work, because I want people to come to me and I want them to have the same experience. And then last but not least, this bottom testimonial came from a studio client of mine. And those of you guys who know me know that I treat my studio exactly the same way as I treat my business. The customers there probably have a very similar experience as my customers online do, right? I'm the same person regardless of where I am. And so I share this with you because I have this client who came in a week ago, I believe. I guess it's only been a week ago. And she told me that she wanted to join. This particular person is not, she's not someone, I'm going to probably cry, and I'm not really a crier. She's not someone that you would see and say, oh, she obviously works out. I would say she probably has, I think she says she's wanting to lose like 60 to 70 pounds. Never worked out in a day in her life, has been a very heavy smoker, was literally scared to death by her doctors. I guess has had lung cancer, has had all kinds of treatments for it, no longer has her teeth. She's literally getting dentures next week. So when you see this person who's obviously struggled with their health, okay? And So I treat her like I treat all of my customers, right? I want them to feel welcome. I want them to feel like they're in an environment for success. I don't want to shame them. I want them to feel like they can do exactly what I'm doing. It just might take a little while to get there. I want them to know about my journey. Okay, so she comes on board. She's done a total of like 3 or 4 workouts now at RevX. And the first time she was really nervous. And she even said to me, I feel like I'm going to have a panic attack. This is totally out of my comfort zone. The second time, she started posting on Facebook about how exciting, how she looked forward to the workouts because the people there were so supportive. Okay. So what I'm getting at though, you guys, is that never once has she made a post or sent me a message about how amazing the bicep curls were today, right? Or even like how her shake tasted. Every message that I've gotten has been a thank you for believing in her, for providing an environment of encouragement, for everybody else there being supportive of her, right? And for her finally feeling like there's hope for her to get her health back. So this is just part of her message. She said, I was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder with suicidal tendencies. I was even bedridden with depression for 2 years. I'm getting better, but this last week I have felt so good. I'm sore, but good. I just really appreciate your patience with me. And so you guys, what we do matters. The way that I talk to her, the way that I put her in a place of highest potential matters, right? It really, really, truly does. And people are following what you do, even if they don't click the like button, even if they don't comment, even if they don't send you a message, they're following you, which is why it's so important that you reach out and do that part of the work. So this is the same person just wrote a review for my fitness studio. And she said, and this, she was a little bit more before this, but basically she said, I love RevX. It's incredible. I can't say enough. I recommend it to anyone who wants to get in shape in an environment with supportive instructors that are willing to take the time to help you. Everyone is so happy to be there, willing to help you and encouraging one another. I look forward to every class. So I want you to look at this again. And I want you to, for me, these are the words, the key words that stuck out to me when I read this. She used the word environment. She used the word supportive. She also said willing to take the time. And she said encouraging, right? Those words stood out to me because I think that those 4 words could be crafted into a statement, sort of a mission statement about what we do as coaches. It doesn't matter if you're teaching a fitness class in a gym or if you're running a challenge group online, the same sentence applies. And that sentence is that our daily plan of action as a coach is to create a supportive and encouraging environment through which we, as coaches, are willing to take the time to have the patience to help someone succeed. A lot of coaches in this business don't have the patience. A lot of coaches in the business are looking for the perfect customer, the person who's already really into working out, right? Or the person who's really gonna be self-motivated. At the end of the day, I'm really sorry to say, less than 1% of the world is self-motivated, and less than 1% of the world has extremely amazing body fat percentage. So what we want to shoot for is helping everyone, meeting people where they are, actually realizing that we have the potential to change their life. Of course, the ball's in their court. We know that the tools that we have and the environment that we provide helps get them results, but at the end of the day, it's up to them. But my question to you is, are you every single day providing an environment that is supportive and encouraging to your challengers? Are you patient enough with them? Are you willing to take the time to help them succeed? Are you following through? Are you interacting? Are you having conversations? Are you building the relationship? And are you continuing to shine your light to bring other people into that same environment? Okay? So the more people that you help, the more rewarding this business is. The more you're changed, the more your family's changed, the more impact you have in the world, and the more you are fulfilling your purpose. You guys, I have, and I meant to take a picture of it and I forgot, but I have a bulletin board in my office that has thank you notes. About once a year, I have to go through and decide which ones I'm going to throw away because I just can't keep hundreds of them. But I have letters that people have written me. I have little thank you cards. I have little things that have come with flowers. In 6 years, I guess almost 7 years of this business, Those little things keep me fueled. Those are the things that keep me posting about my shake in October when nobody wants a freaking health shake, right? Like those are the things that keep me going. And I really believe that those are the things that are helping make me successful as a coach. And I want you guys to succeed too. I want you to feel like, you know, this is a business for you that's thriving, but I also want you to really feel like you're making a difference. And in order to do that, I think these 5 ways that we just went over, they have to, every single one of them has to be committed to and followed through with. Every single one of them. You have to just keep going. So if you guys have any questions on anything that we talked about today, please feel free to reach out to me. You guys know how to reach me, or you can post in the team page or comment below this link. I'm super excited about the year ahead. I think we have a lot of exciting things in store. If you have not followed through on your vision board and your leadership ladder checklist, please do so next week. Next week, we have an all new topic. I've got some awesome guest speakers lined up to talk to us about email marketing. I even have some people ready to talk to us about, I know you guys are going to be excited about this. I have someone that's going to be speaking to us about how she rocks her business as a premier coach while working a full-time job too. So I've got some really cool speakers lined up for February. So I want to make sure we're starting 2017 off on the right foot. I want to make sure we have our mindset in the right place, which is the purpose of today's webinar. So listen to it again if you must. Share it with your teams. Thank you guys so much for being on here. Thank you again for your patience with letting me do this pre-recorded. I will see you guys next week.